The land of Tarkov is a vast region of many different resource-filled biomes. Naturally, the rich resources invite a competition between a variety of different creatures. One such creature is the spray and pray submachine gun user. Come along with me as we observe this creature's growth from a pathetic enemy into one of the most feared in the Tarkov region. Like most creatures in the lands of Tarkov, the spray and pray submachine gun user has humble beginnings. The PP91, though boasting a high rate of fire, provides only the most basic protection. With this weapon, the SMG user is able to protect itself from scavs and low-tier PMCs at short ranges. However, this weapon's weak ammo and poor modularity result in it being rather pitiful at even medium range. As a result, SMG users at this level most commonly wander around the machinery of the factory, with few journeying beyond its walls. They are incredibly weak at medium to long ranges, but at short range they can pose a threat to any individuals that do not wear face masks. The only way they can consistently kill enemies is by sitting in a corner and ambushing their prey with a leg attack. In truth, a lack of armor and a rather pathetic weapon cause this SMG user to be extremely vulnerable. Eventually, the SMG user will become attracted to the much higher potential magazine capacity of the PPSH. Colloquially known as the Angry Hornet, the PPSH user is a much larger threat to low-tier PMCs and even solo chads. At this stage, the SMG user begins to employ the philosophy of accuracy by volume of fire, spraying as many rounds in the general direction of an enemy as possible. They will also begin to focus on hitting the unarmored legs of an enemy, enabling them to down armored targets. They're able to kill solo PMCs in this way. However, the longer time to kill and weak armor causes them to be vulnerable in head-on engagements or against groups of enemies. After enough time has passed, the PPSH user will begin to explore different options. This will lead them to the MP9. Those who begin to use the MP9 are willing to sacrifice the large mag capacity of the PPSH in exchange for more damaging ammo. Initially, they will continue with their tried and true tactic of aiming for the legs. In this phase, they are known as the leg muncher, and the MP9 user may stay in this phase for extended periods of time. Unfortunately, just like the PPSH user, the focus on legging their enemies causes the leg muncher to be weak in head-on engagements. Even so, they will eventually evolve and begin to utilize better armor, the AP 6.3 bullet, and even upgrade their weapon to the MP9N. The combination of the higher penetration ammo and the sheer rate of fire of the MP9N make the SMG user a deadly opponent. Due to the relatively inexpensive nature of their gear, the fear center of their brain is heavily dampened. As a result, they become one of the most aggressive creatures in the Tarkov region. In engagements, they tend to push as close as possible to their opponents and spray towards the head and thorax. They pose a large threat to solo enemies and uncoordinated teams, but their lower magazine capacity, coupled with their absurd rate of fire, forces them to reload constantly. Due to this, they are weak against groups of coordinated PMCs. As the MP9N provides decent performance, some SMG users will continue to use it. The ambitious, however, will evolve into a much more fearsome adversary. Unlike previously covered organisms, the spray and pray subspecies of SMG user does not have a singular Chad form. Rather, there are 3 different Chad forms, with the largest distinguishable difference being their choice of weaponry. The least common of the spray and pray Chads is the P90 user. Though not as common as the other spray and pray Chads, the P90 user is an extremely formidable opponent and should not be taken lightly. They tend to use high quality tier 4 armor and have an aggressive playstyle. As the P90 sports large capacity magazines and high penetration ammo, the SMG user is able to engage in battles with groups of enemies much more effectively than the MP9 user. With their abilities, the P90 Chad continues to remain a strong competitor for the rich resources of the Tarkov lands. Next, easily the most common SMG Chad is the MP7 user. Though it sports a lower total magazine capacity, the MP7 compensates for this with some of the best ammo available in the Tarkov region. This SMG user often is equipped with tier 5 armor, and in some cases tier 6 armor, making them some of the most durable individuals fighting for Tarkov's resources. The combination of impressive armor and stellar ammo make the MP7 user an incredibly effective killer. As a result, they are one of the few brave creatures that venture to the hallways of the labs. Otherwise, they can be found on nearly every map other than woods, and continue to be one of the most feared predators in the Tarkov ecosystem. The final of the spray and pray chads is an extremely formidable creature. Almost single-handedly responsible for the decline in the consistent recoil subspecies, the Vector Chad is not to be taken lightly. The Vector's laser beam recoil and high magazine capacity, coupled with heavy armor, make the Vector Chad an extremely formidable creature. Most commonly, these creatures are found utilizing AP 6.3 rounds. However, the few that do use 7N31 are truly devastating individuals. Similar to the MP7 user, the Vector Chad's strengths make it a common sight in the labs. Though this creature thrives in the hallways and cramped corners of labs, it remains an incredible threat on other maps. Though the spray and pray subspecies enters the lands of Tarkov as feeble prey, they evolve to become one of the most dominant Chad populations in the Tarkov region. From the weak and feeble PP91 to the raw terror of any of the three Chads, this evolution is one of the most fascinating in Tarkov. Unlike their fellow subspecies, the spray and pray SMG users are growing in population and show no signs of stopping. Despite what the future may hold, these creatures remain strong and resilient individuals in the competition for life in Tarkov.